Good morning, everyone. I hope this finds you well and living your best life in Jesus Christ. I remember quite clearly the day that my brother wrecked my first car. It was a banana yellow 1972 Maverick, and I had inherited it from my father. My dad and I had been working on it for weeks to make it look good. Fresh paint and bodywork had made it a thing of beauty, well, at least in my eyes. That is, until my brother Mark tried to put it in the garage and succeeded in damaging not one, but both sides. Well, he didn't mean to, of course, but I was furious, and I told him in no uncertain terms that I hated him. In my family, that was a word we simply didn't use. Hate's a strong word, my mother used to say, and it's not of God. God is love. Using the word hate when referring to others was simply not permitted. We could hate broccoli, and we did. We could hate school. Well, we really didn't. But we could even hate the way someone treated us, but hating other folks was simply not allowed. I don't often feel hatred toward people because, like Mom said, hate is a strong word. Though at times I do experience strong dislike for people, and let's be honest, sometimes you do too. The kind of dislike where I think to myself, I want to be the bigger person, but, and then I go on to justify myself why I can't. I suppose that's human nature. Have you ever been in a situation where you find someone completely annoying, where you have to resist the urge to hate, where someone has just done you in? Hatred creeps in because you're focusing all of your energy on all of the things they do wrong. Whenever that person comes around, it's excruciating to have a conversation with them or look them in the eye. You think your life would be better if they weren't in it. Understanding their perspective and where they're coming from is really impossible because their way of thinking is so different from yours. The truth is, usually hatred comes from a lack of understanding. Instead of focusing on why a person is the way they are, or why they make decisions the way they do, we focus on their actions. And their actions aren't in line with our moral standards or values. We see ourselves as better. When I look at the riots and unrest surrounding the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis, my heart hurts. I have so many conflicting emotions, starting with righteous anger at his death at the hand of someone we depend on to serve and protect. I was taught to respect these men and women who serve us every day from the time I was a child, and I desperately want to believe that this and other incidents like it are simply anomalies, circumstances where people of bad character use their power to inflict harm upon others. But also I have anger for those who would use this event to destroy homes and businesses and lives in the name of the death of this poor man. I, like everyone I know, want there to be justice in this world, and I want to see people punished for their crimes, for their evil. I fight hatred every day. Hatred for the pain this causes others, and hatred for the injustice of it all. It makes it very difficult to find love in these circumstances. I would rather accuse, sitting up on my high horse, and demand that everyone pay for their evil deeds. I'm saddened and angered and so very close to forgetting that God's grace covers their sins just as fully as it does mine. Here's the thing. How can we say that we love God and are Christ followers if we exhibit hatred in our hearts? Hatred toward others separates us from God. Psalm 51:10 says, "Create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me." We should build our hearts to be patient, non-judgmental, and undemanding. Instead of justifying that we don't need to be the bigger person by pointing the finger at someone else. Well, look what they did. We should just be the bigger person. Understand that there is more to someone else than what we can see, and they may have other things in their lives that are causing them to act the way they do. I can fully expect and insist that people pay for their crimes, and I do. I want to see justice for George Floyd's killer, and I want to see it motivate change in the way our police treat others and are, in return, treated. I want to see those who would kill and destroy in the interest of their own anger or agenda punished as well. See, that's why we have courts and laws. And I expect them to be used to find justice for all and to make whatever changes are necessary to make that happen. But as for hatred, I need to understand that I don't run things. God does. And as my mom used to quote, Romans 12:19, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. Look, it's okay to have different values, and it's okay to agree to disagree. It's okay to even get righteous anger. But at the end of the day, judgment isn't in our hands. It's in God's hands. We need to love each other just like Jesus loves us. We need to pray. The Bible says that we need to pray for those who have hurt us. Pray for those who have been hurting people as well as the people they hurt. Pray that God will lead our nation back to Him, and pray that individually and as a nation we will remember God's glorious grace to us. And importantly, share it with everyone. I guess what I'm saying is it's so easy to hate. Let us not give in to hatred. Let us remember instead, as Mom used to tell me all the time, God is love. I hope you make today a terrific day. I want you to remember that I'm here if you need me. And I love you all.